All right, how the turntables.
How's it feel? He gets the first chance to take over and he drops the ball.
Oh man, I was trying to be funny there, but that didn't work out.
Stone cold face.
I know he's doing that shake again, but I've actually decided to go off script, and we're no, just kidding. Wow, well, it's a learning curve. We'll get there.
You get that seat every now and then.
Well, I get it to grill you guys on your entrepreneur. This is the entrepreneur's
So
lane.
then the young kid asks us the OGs that, oh fuck, we're OGs.
Oh,
Wow, we're OGs. This sucks. Dang.
that's why we're here, though.
I guess, yeah.
But this is the kind of entrepreneur side of the conversation. We're going to be talking about a few things.
Shit, we need an entrepreneur. Fuck.
Ain't me.
Do you feel that way?
Do I feel like an
Yeah.
entrepreneur? No, I just feel like I fucked up a lot. Seriously, I really honestly.
What do you think about people introduce themselves as an entrepreneur?
I mean, listen, I've been there, right? Like, because you just don't have that answer. Like, my fiance Danny, like, I introduce her as like this brilliant doctor. She went to USC and her name has 2 letters in front of it. So you're damn doc. She's really a dentist. It's true, right? So then, I'm like proud of her. So like she works for a global company, right? And like she does this R&D and education, et cetera, and paving the future forward for dentistry, digital dentistry. It's like bro, you're scanning your teeth and you're making one in the back. That's some big shit in my mind.
That almost compares to like an exhaust shop.
Right. Seriously, because now they have robots welding up this shit.
We're talking about intake, not exhaust.
Yeah. Hold on, again.
Yeah.
He's waiting for this episode to
Yeah,
come.
we
He's
were.
Like, you're on that side of the table. I'm going to get you.
So the answer to the truth, like, I would always call her a doctor, right? And she would correct me and just be like, no, babe, I'm a dentist. And it's true, right? So, like, some guys that answer and going, I'm an entrepreneur, yeah, they could be a wantrepreneur.
I just think that like when you claim to be an entrepreneur, it's like something you put on your dating profile or your LinkedIn. You know, like you're a bit like if you're a business owner or you're someone that's like doing that stuff, I feel like you just kind of let it speak for itself.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's
very,
what I learned was like, I can't move.
It's a very broad title, right? Yeah. Entrepreneur. It could mean a lot of different things. I think people use it, and I don't know if this is going to be offending to anybody, but I think people use it when they can't let their work speak for themselves.
Yeah. I mean, my mentor said it too. He's just like, it was a big learning for me was let your work speak for itself and don't worry about the money. The money will come if you do good work. And
absolutely.
Yeah, it came. But again, I really understand where some guys are, if they're saying they're an entrepreneur, it's hard to define what you do, right? Again, back to, I call her a doctor, she's a dentist, and then, I've done it in front of you. I've told people that I'm just in marketing, and you're like,
just in marketing. That's a cop out, but
yeah, it's hard. It's still hard for me today to define what I do, right? And it's just like I joke this one. Me and him joke about it a lot. He's
already smiling. He's thinking of something.
I don't know what you do.
He just shows up at my front doorstep and just
picks me up.
He was just a late Uber today.
Whoa.
So, what does an automotive non-endemic actually mean, and why is it a legitimate and growing career path? I'm just gonna right on the nose.
Gosh. So automotive non-endemic means basically
Define endemic.
Define endemic.
It really just comes down to like outside of our industry that wants to get into our industry because they believe in our industry. Okay, so I think when you look at brands that I've had such as NOS, right, and Neft, and even now with Coco Love, right, like that, those are non-endemic brands. Like we have Rome, which I'm very proud of, right, and we support the drift community. Neft, we supported the F1 community and the drift community and road racing, and blah, 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 blah. Now even at Maximo Capital, right, like I'm looking at it now and going, we still want to be a part of this community. We're not endemic to Katana, to Vision X or anything along those lines. It's really just coming down to like, how do we be a part of it and sell you our product? How do we get a part of that community? And I think non-endemic for the automotive industry is great, but that is how food and beverages. Fun fact is this: food and beverages is right there with automotive advertising sales. Automotive advertising sales, direct to consumer, out of home, digital or print, is the highest budgets in the world of advertising budgets. Guess who's second? Food and beverage, then makeup, right? So we're really non-endemic, but if automotive's the biggest spenders in the world, and the fun fact, like if anybody wants to challenge that, then cool, go watch the last decade of freaking Super Bowl commercials. How many automotive OEs are in there? A lot.
Yeah.
How many just went into F1? A lot.
I mean, if you look up 10 richest corporations, majority of them are OEM manufacturers, like Toyota's.
Yeah.
Right.
Who just went to another country to represent our country? I'm not a politics guy, but he's there. He owns a spaceship and he owns a bunch of cars we all drive. It's like, holy crap. Like he's bigger than a phone that's in our pocket every day. Like he's bigger than Apple. Like Tesla and SpaceX bigger. It's like, holy shit. So that's why like I tell a lot of people, like, automotive is no joke. Like, it's a big deal. And that's why non-endemic brands that come in, I'm normally the guy that, like, helps a lot of people really understand how they can make money in that space and do it, relatively.
And you've always been that bridge. You've seen, like, last, 15, 20 years, majority has been outside of the car industry, but you're still very much involved in the aftermarket world. I mean, all last year, I saw you almost every Formula Drift round.
That was because that was a choice.
Oh.
I'm just a big fan, and like now I go to as many IMSA races as I can because I become a big fan. SRO, but it is also like learning like how did Patron figure that out with IMSA, right? How is Shopify doing it now in IMSA in a prototype car? How are my boys over at Trackhouse, right? How are they giving Red Bull a return, especially with Red Bull coming back to NASCAR? Like they swore they would never come back. And my boy Parker over there is just like, dude, this is some of the best returns I've seen year over year. It intrigues me because I think that's where I can say I'm truly an entrepreneur. I just want to learn more on what I can get. Like, how can I convert? Like, I'm that guy that'll geek over the data and the aces and pies, like this poor guy has to with thousands of SKUs, and go and sit there and like, oh my God, my customer acquisition cost is this much, right? I think I'm a multi-business owner, and that's what I love to do. If it has to be with cars, I'm really excited. But if not, I'd have to say like 80% of my life is not cars.
Does it help your involvement when it is about cars? Or have you gotten to the point where like, I can do this whether it's involved or not?
Yeah, it's interesting because like, for example, at NEF, right? It was, it's in a barrel, it's eccentric, and it's just really fit to the demographic. And I thought that it would gravitate the way it should at F1, right? And the F1 deal was done preview to me, and I saw it come to fruition, and I was just like, man, the alignment's just kind of weird. Like, let's realign what we're doing with Red Bull vodka, boom, then you start seeing conversions. So like, at the highest level, politically and financially, when you move the right levers, that's exciting, right? When you're in, and then you realize, like we talked about our last episode, those different departments, it was because of my field marketing team that made a difference at the street level with some accounts with Red Bull that the top level said, this is great, let's keep doing stuff with Neft, right? That's one point. But then you got something like Coco Love, where it's extremely organic, and I want the purest of people behind it, right? And having someone like Rome Charpentier, who's the most giving guy in the
most pit. Natural. That was the most, as far as brand partnerships that made sense, that was one of those, whoa, that really works.
And then there's another high level, everybody knows, my 20 years with Forsberg, right? Like Chris has just done some amazing stuff. I mean, you've gotten some really great stories. Your Type S move was big. You guys made some big moves over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like for Type S, like most people didn't really realize, I didn't even know when I started working there that like they were the number one supplier, seller, manufacturer of RGB LED lighting.
Yeah.
Like not even close, like millions of feet. But
they weren't another brand prior to Type S, right?
That then, as far as the LED stuff
like it wasn't Pilot.
No, it was always Type S. And so, and it was mainly because like their selling channels was they had such good relationships at like AutoZone, but like from a consumer level, like nobody knew who they were. And so for me at that time, Jeremy and I, the creative director who I'd worked with at Magnaflow was there with me, and we kind of put our heads together and decided I was going to leverage some of my relationships, and I'm big, like one of my things when we get into like motorsports, for instance, is like I have a viewpoint that you should always sponsor the series to show that you support the sport. And then you have to have a team, like you have to have an ambassador that then can be the person that you rally behind and speaks for your product and stuff. Like I really, truly believe in that two-prong approach. So
he would geek out on our text messages before we sponsor people.
Yeah.
Remember when I texted you about my NEF team?
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you think of this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy? He was like, he's cool, fuck him,
Yeah.
he's cool. I was like, oh my God.
You didn't believe me.
You were right. I'm sorry, you were right. And you're still right. But I stole your roof idea.
Yeah.
Would you say these are business skills that are directly transferring into the automotive world, or this is just stuff you've picked up over time?
I think it to me, it's just like I think it's just it's kind of hard to say it's like a skill. I almost wouldn't say it's like a skill. It's just like a clarity when you like look at something and understand, like, because it's really about like, because marketing is just psychology. So like when you think about like a brand and a vision, like how much easier it is because like a lot of like branding, especially when you want to make moves, and you see brands across the board, what they do is like you need, whether you're hiring Kid Rock to get your beer back in it because you made some stupid fucking move that alienated half of your people, right? Like you always want to, I think it's always a smart idea to have someone that like is authentic, that people trust, that like if they say or do something and support a product and it feels real and not paid, it will help you. But you also have to show that like you're in it, like that there's a long-term thing. And I think, especially when you sponsor a series, if you're able to come in and say you have a multi-year deal, with ambassadors and partners, it shows that you care.
Yeah.
And then from that point, it just starts to become like, what just makes sense, like from a consumer. And I always talk about like viewing things outside of a bubble.
You cheated. Just put it out there. You cheated.
How?
Oh, I don't know. Let me just call my buddy Vaughn. He happens to be the next Carroll Shelby. And he's got
that comes together though with being in the space. You would hope to maintain those relationships.
Yeah, I mean, like Vaughn and I work together. I mean, like I met Vaughn when I was working at Whiteline, and it literally started with me walking up to him and being like, "Hey, I have this Watts link. I think you're gonna like for the RTR cars."
I thought it was Magnaflow.
No, I already knew Vaughn by the time I went to Magnaflow, and it was.
Did you carry him over there too?
No, he was already there. But so like once I was there, like, because I was working in sales, running the, basically managing most of the performance accounts at that point. So like any of Vaughn's appearances and stuff, he was like usually with me. And then like going to FD and doing the activations there, he was always with me. And even down to like, hey, we have to like our SEMA dinner, and Vaughn would always be at my table, right? And so like we just had a friendship, So, and I think that's kind of those things too that like it's just like. You always kind of get the team back together, and you go places, and you pick up the phone, and like, hey, I'm here now. Do you want to work together? Is it, like, does it make sense? And like with something like
we sell that.
Yeah,
we sell that to CEOs. I'm like, this is my network.
And it's more than just knowing somebody. You can know of somebody, but it's maintaining that relationship because you can carry that along to each brand. I mean, if you go to somewhere new, you're like, hey, come with me over
That's
here.
like I talked about it, like having your own personal brand and people follow it, right? Like they just know, like, hey, I want to work with this person because like. Like a lot of people that have worked with me that I've like managed sponsorships, like I don't want to say I'm easy because I'm tough about stuff. Like you put a contract down of what you have agreed to that you're going to do for me, you're going to do it. And if you fall behind or you don't do it, I'm going to be the first person picking up the phone. But that's because that's my personal brand. And people know that like if I say I'm going to get this ROI from someone, I'm going to get it because we've spent money on it, and I have a moral obligation to the people that I work for to get the ROI for the money, right? And I also view it as a lot of times those teams respect it because it holds them accountable.
Yep.
And it makes sure they stay on top of it to better their own program.
And how did you, because you have one of the wilder jumps, I mean, obviously wheels to, beverage, but more recently, beverage into a financial group that also is involved with automotive. Like, how did that jump? Like, what personal brand did you take over to kind of make that jump? Or was it, I don't know, I don't want to say luck, but...
I everything's luck.
Everything's luck.
Everything's luck, right? You're Irish. You should know that. Everything's
What?
luck.
This is news to me. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Everything's luck. And I think a little bit of luck and a little bit of humility. You guys know my saying is, just I always effed up. And, I think the luck here for me was just that, Ralph and I are just super passionate. And the rest of our group, right? So like my guys Tony and Kevin and Ralph, like we're all alignment. The craziest part is like we all run 3 totally different things, right? Like I'm on the product side, Tony is on the operations and the entire the whole Rafa racing side, right? And then the physical motorsport side in North Carolina is Kevin, and it's again, that was the shock, right? And I don't see these guys, right? Our headquarters is in Houston, or we have a shop in North Carolina. I don't see these guys. He's got his counterparts in Australia, Europe,
Australia, Sweden. I mean, our home office is in the U.S. is in Seattle area in Auburn. So I mean, I've been there 2 years. I've been there 3 times, I think.
Yeah. So I think the big thing is to your question. I think it's a lot of luck. The transition. For me, it's never hard. It's just the same. I hate saying it's the same thing. It's the same work. It's just ever evolving and adapting, right? So with Maximo Capital, you've got to it's a lot less communication, but a lot more output. Your work has to do is speaking, right? This is what's completed. And you really got to stay super diligent on that. With Coco Love, right? I have to we're constantly communicating. I walk with Vinny once a week, twice a week. We do 10,000 steps. That takes us 2 hours. And we're talking and everything. But and then you're doing trade shows. Food and beverage is a major hustle. It's, believe it or not, you're broke for 7 years. I shit you not. In food and beverage, you are literally broke for 7 years. You're constantly in the red. Automotive, you can go in the black quick. We can go drop a clothing line from this show if it does well, and we're lights on.
I mean,
it's
that
crazy.
would directly go into if you had to say your first 3 moves when starting a brand.
Okay.
What would those be? I mean, I can go down the line here, or age before beauty. If chat wants to figure out which one that is.
Fire.
Well,
I think that if I had my top 3 things that I definitely need would definitely.
I like how you just stepped up to do
I know. He's like, I'm just going to take it.
Yeah, I'm just ready now. It's just you're going to own me anyway. The top 3 things is marketing is now media. I firmly believe that Claude, AI, bots, etc., they've been around. Everybody that's scared of it has not been listening to it since COVID, and it's their own fault. I'm all about AI. I've got 2 of my own 2 Claude bots right now. I love them. I have a CEO of my life and I have a CEO of my business, and they are both great computers. One's name's Chavez, the other one's name's Friday. Love them. That would be so. My number 1 weapon would be media. Is marketing today. What's your girl's name again?
It's Sierra.
Sierra? There are more Sierras in this world, the better, right? I had a guy named Ryan that I loved that I gave to these guys at Type S. He is unique where he won't become irrelevant because he's one of the best illustrators we've ever seen. Line work is hard, but I'm an Adobe guy, and it's sad. Number 2, I'd bring the baddest sales guy with me. I need a guy that can effing close and a guy that tells me what he needs to go make that money. Here's why. I'm Jarvis. I'm always Jarvis. My CEO is Iron Man. I don't give a shit. But he's nothing without me. That suit's nothing without me. And I'm not. My only purpose is to help him with that suit. Right? So whether I own the suit or not, I don't give a shit. That's my lane. Right? And then the last thing I would definitely bring is loyalty, right? As long as you have the media, the sales guy, and the loyalty, you can do anything, right? And you can jump through walls, hoops, whatever it is. As long as you're loyal to each other and the company, and you build a culture around that, you can win.
Can we hold hands right now?
Oh, wow.
I ain't going with you.
How do you know we're not?
I mean, like me rocking this Gretty hoodie. Like this is like I've made mistakes to Kenji.
Yeah.
Right. I made a mistake. I didn't know, but I made a mistake, and I learned the hard way that mistake, and getting his respect back and being friends with him again. Like that's the true definition of me understanding loyalty. If you like, we gotta. That's the whole reason why we're doing this podcast. It's like paying it back to the OGs that, you know, they're being patient with us because they believe in us. You know what I mean? It's just like, and then it doesn't help that he makes dope ass gear, but you know, it's
You pulled it out. I was like, oh, that's sick.
Yeah, that's a great hoodie. That's a great hoodie. It's just, it just, you know, sometimes you just got the right magic, and he's got that right magic where he's got dope salespeople. He's always had Mike behind him, and he's constantly like he's always making cool clothes. He's sponsoring the right things, and he's doing the movie stuff, and et cetera. And like, look, that's one brand that I'm proud that's they beat HKS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw that coming, and it's nice to see it. So everybody has their own formulas. What's yours?
I'm old school. I go straight to documentation. So like if I'm going to start something up, the first thing I'm really big about is like something that I don't believe AI should ever touch, and that's building a brand book, because I think it's so like ridiculously fucking important. Because your brand book should, you know, like aside from a style guide, that's whatever, that stuff like style guides are things also I think AI should never touch, because you should have something authentic and real, you know, that is like not a generation of other images that it combines together.
Would you show it it's real. More intent and it's more
and so when I think about a brand book, and if you and anyone that like this is another like just hot tip for anyone. If you're getting into marketing, first thing I would recommend you do is start Googling brand books and look at brand books from big companies. Like some of the old Hoonigan ones are out there. Wheel Pros has their ones out there. And automotive are just outside of that. Like Michelin has some great ones, right? The things that you'll start to see is that like the intent of the brand is clearly spelled out in there. And what is important in there is what they say that they are and what they do, as much as they say what we don't do. And within those brand books, usually you'll have vision and mission statements too. So your long-term, you know, vision for the brand and what you're doing, and then, you know, usually your short-term, your goals, and, you know, those statements. Sometimes you have mission statements for different departments and things. But I think it's really important because within the whole time of a company, and let's just say from a standpoint of like a manufacturer, there's a lot of distractions. And there's a lot of times you're like, I want to do this thing, or I think this would be a good idea. And you get to these times where you go back and you start like tapping the sign. As I say, you go back to that brand book and you say, this doesn't really fit into what we do. Because it's what I've learned over time is that like laser focus is what helps you get to where you need to go. There's too many distractions. So you have to have those levels of game plan put out right off the bat. Before you do anything, you have to have a brand book, and you have to have like your business, like, you know, a level of a business plan put together so that, and this is coming from like that, this is that entrepreneurial part. And like, this is where like people like Ernie and I will get together and be good at, because he's focused on a totally different thing, which will be like relevant to what you need. And I'm like, you got to do this. It
also shows there's different angles.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have one correct way to do it. There's different ways. Oh, my bad.
I mean, unfortunately, it's true. Like there is one finish line,
Yeah.
right? But when you have a squad that can run a marathon together and pull each other through,
It's
right?
a relay race. It's not, you're everyone's got their things they got to do. And I think, you know, you, to the point, like he said, it's like when you put your team together, you don't hear him saying he's grabbing 5 other marketers. You know, he's grabbing guys that have skill sets that aren't his skill set that he needs to rely on.
I'm hiring smarter people than me.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm an idiot. Like I'm just here based off of luck and hard work. Like,
It's
just let me get
self-awareness
some-
too.
Yeah,
helps
well,
do
that
that.
comes. Like, that definitely comes. Like, I think when we were, like, he was at Magnify, where was I? I was in my agency.
Yeah, collab. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, we made it. You know what I mean? It's like, he's a fucking Magniflow, right? And like,
Well, the difference is that you got to sell your business. I just worked somewhere, right?
yeah, but look at it. Then he made it again at Type S, right? Like, I walked into FD and I was like, what the hell is Type S? And I'm like, you got the whole art. Who the fuck is there? And he goes, hey. I'm like, oh, shit. I think some of the things, like he said to the brand book, not one to debate, but it's also because I'm way too into AIs. Like my subscriptions right now with AI is like $3,000 with my whole stack. And I fear it. I fear it. I genuinely fear it, but I'm not going to let that beat me because there's too many things in my life that I woke up to and go, oh God, what am I doing now?
I think the important thing with AI is understanding, and this could be a whole episode too,
yeah.
honestly, but I just think that like it's about feeding the beast, not letting the beast eat you.
Correct.
And so like I think that like you create a brand book, you create your logo, you create the look and feel, you do that, and then you can kind of throw that at AI and say like, make me a flyer, make me a
The
catalog.
only difference
do this.
now is it's like, because I was that guy you came to and saying, hey, can you make me a logo? And here I am, an illustrator, doing it, tightening up. And that would take me 2 or 3 days. And then now it's just like, I just sold a company, a BVS, brand visual style guide. I just sold it for $40,000. Literally. Like, and for everyone that's watching, how the hell did you make $40,000? I made $40,000 based off of experience, but like that would normally take me 3 months. It's 164 pages. I've sent you one of my brand visual style guides.
I think the biggest thing right now though with it is like you can use it to get to a point, but the consumer is getting smarter and there's authenticity. How many show flyers, how many like new websites that come out that someone's just like, that was made with AI.
And I think we're seeing the split already. We're seeing people who fully embraced it, and we're seeing people that are super against it, and that also goes to the consumers. Only I guess time will tell, which direction we truly go. But that was your number one, right? You had 2 other ones to follow up on that.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't understand that question either.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, so I mean, I guess the brand
He's
book
that
is there.
long-winded. He couldn't answer the whole question.
The brand book is there, and I think the business plan with the forecast is there, and I think that kind of gets maybe into like the different like operational standpoint of it because you got to have that because if you have like a board or investors or anything like that, you have to be able to show it. And I think that's like another crazy thing is like the longer you get into this, you realize like the younger you are, you're just like, oh my God, how do I come up with this data? How do I come up with these numbers? And you're just like, just figure it out, just make it up. Like it pulls something out of it, make some estimations. It's really easy to do this math and like do some backwards calculations. It figures itself out. But you have to have something. You have to have a basis of a strategy because all of those things aren't concrete. They are evolving. It's a living. Those documents are living and breathing. So I think the business plan, the brand book are like your 2 pillars that you kind of have to go after. And then once you do that, then to me it's kind of back to Ernie's point. Is you put together the team.
Yeah.
Because at that point you have the plan. Now you got to activate it. You can't do shit until you have those things because you don't even have the basis of a business, in my opinion.
Let's pit in, right? And really what it comes down to is like, if you're an entrepreneur, or a guy that's at a dead-end job, whatever it is, like you said, building a team is the most important thing.
I think
absolutely.
the term entrepreneur, where you see it more these days, is when you see people looking to recruit and they say they want someone with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
And I think what that really means to people is that like you have a real sense of ownership in what you're doing, that like you care. You like look at all the things and you plan, you're not just showing up and getting a fucking
you
paycheck,
fully embrace
like-
yourself in the brand, and you.
Well, and
you-
it's about responsibility. It's about responsibility to the company and to the people. And I think that like that's one of the biggest things that you transition to when you become you go from being a member of a team to a leader of a team or a manager. You have moral responsibility. Like I've been in the position where like, hey, shit didn't work out, and I had to lay off my friends that have families, and stuff like that. That's a heavy responsibility because like you look back and you're like, did I take this?
Yeah. And what he was saying earlier, right? Like, and to wrap it up, like the C-suite piece is really important. It's just the bullshit terminology for who is that team that could bestow that responsibility. As Jared mentioned, like, yeah, he and I would kill it. If you listen to this 30 minutes, we're 2 totally different people. right? Some may say that I'm more of a risk taker while he's looking at the numbers and the data, which, true and not true.
Yeah.
Because I look analytically heavily.
Shut the fuck up.
I analytically.
This is the third time I've had to tell you to mute your shit.
So
there was a checklist at the beginning. You have to mute your shit.
So the big thing really is like looking at that analytics is important, but the timing of actually like when the company makes money, that's when some guys have to get out of the way. So
that's something you wish you would known earlier from day one.
What I wish
learned.
and what that is to everybody else is know what a C-suite is. Okay, there's a CEO. That guy, he's just responsible for failure, and he's trying his best not to fail and keep everybody's dreams alive about this company he tried building. Okay, the CFO, he's trying not to piss anyone off. He's just trying to keep everything in alignment and manage his team of bookkeepers and making sure no one else is complaining about the process that he's trying to make happen, so that this way everyone else in the company can actually have a fruitful life and family and et cetera. Then there's the CMO, right? The CMO is just trying to take the vision of that CEO and try to make it come to life with the pennies he's got to rub together from the CFO, right? And hopefully those two have a great relationship, because that CMO is supporting a CSO or a CRO, Chief Sales Executive, or Chief Revenue Officer. And within those two guys, those two can turn into a CEO, right? What's happening a lot in this world is that CMOs are turning into CEOs. But you heard how I entered what a CEO's real responsibility is, right? His number one thing is accepting failure, right? And that's that core piece. Jared, what I love about him, he's more of a COO mindset, but he could do everything in that seat, right? When I said, hey, let's start this podcast, that's why I called him right away. First phone call I made. I was like,
yeah, see that, Ian? First call.
He was
the second.
I'm happy to be here.
He was the third call.
I'm happy to be here.
That's your new nickname. Third call.
Third call.
Because Chris bailed on us, dang it. But I think that's really the key talking point is like, no matter what, the non-academic entrepreneurship, etc., like understand the game before you start playing the game and respect the game before you come in.
Anything to close out?
I just did.
Oh. We don't want to hear from him, apparently.
And that's the way I heard it.